Carthage must be destroyed. The Romans reach Africa 146 BCE. In context. Location: Carthage, present-day Tunisia. 814 BCE. According to legend, Carthage is founded by the Phoenician princess Eliza in exile from the city of Tyre in the Levant. 580 to 265 BCE. Carthage vies with the Greek Empire for control of the island of Sicily. 241 BCE. Rome establishes Sicily as its first province after driving out the Carthaginians. After 30 BCE, after the death of the last pharaoh, Cleopatra VII, Egypt falls to the Romans. 203 CE, Septimius Severus, the first African-born Roman emperor, expands and fortifies the southern reaches of Rome's North African territory. 698, a Muslim invasion of Carthage ends Roman and Christian control of the city. During the 3rd century BCE, ancient Rome began its exponential growth from city to empire, first flexing its might with the conquest of the Italian peninsula. Sites were then set on Carthage on the North African coast, founded by Phoenicians from the East Mediterranean seaboard. Carthage was now the wealthiest port city in the ancient world. Its hinterland included the cities of Utica and Hippo and the plain of Zama, and was peopled by indigenous Berbers from the Mari, Mesaizli, and the Mesaizli tribes. Expert craft workers, traders, and seafarers, the Punics as they were known, had established a thalassocracy, a seaborne empire with outposts scattered across the western Mediterranean. Their command of trading goods that ranged from grain to gold aroused enmity. In 264 BCE, Rome launched a campaign to topple Carthage that lasted for more than 100 years with intermittent gains and devastating losses on each side. The first African-born Roman emperor, Septimius Severus, from the Roman-Libyan city of Leptis Magna, is shown with his wife and 2 sons in a painted panel dated around 200 CE. The Punic Wars. 3 conflicts known as the Punic Wars are remembered principally for the land-based campaigns of the Formidian Carthaginian general Hannibal. His army, supported by war elephants and a Berber cavalry, marched from Spain to Italy, crossing the Pyrenees and the Alps, and defeating Roman legions at will. After switching their allegiance to Rome, the Berber cavalry had a role in Hannibal's defeat at the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE. In the 50 years that followed, a diminished Carthage ceded its territories, and Corsica, Sardinia, and Spain to Rome was forced into a pact of non-aggression. Yet, when Roman statesman Cato the Elder visited the city in 167 BCE, he noted a continued threat from its wealth and power. Carthage must be destroyed became his mantra, repeated at the end of every speech to the Senate. In 146 BCE, after the final Punic War, Rome destroyed the city and slaughtered its inhabitants. A Roman province. Carthage and its territories were converted into a productive Norman province that over time became known as the granary of the empire. Utica became its capital. The Mari Berbers were established in the kingdom of Mauritania, and the Mesaizli and Mesaili in the kingdom of Numidia. Carthage was rebuilt as a Roman city in 44 BCE. While there was enslavement, a racial inclusivity allowed Berbers to make contributions to the broader culture. Roman Berber literature, for example, includes The Golden Ass, the only complete Latin novel in existence, written by Numidian-born Apuleius, circa 124 to 170 CE. After Christianity spread into the province in the 2nd century CE, other Berbers rose to prominence. They include 3 popes, Victor I, Miltiades, and Gelasius I, who led the church in the 2nd, 4th, and 5th centuries. 2 Berbers, Tertullian, born in Carthage around 155, and Augustine, born in Hippo in 354, were among the great early church fathers, theologians who laid the intellectual foundation of Western Christianity. A a productive Roman colony in the 2nd century mosaic from Uthina, Tunisia, features oxen ploughing, sheep, goats, whale, olive groves, partridges, and a wild boar hunting. Terence. In his brief life, African-Roman playwright Terence wrote only 6 comedies between 166 and 160 BE, but left a literary legacy that endures to the present day. Publius Terentius Afer, to use his full Roman name, was born in either 195 or 185 BC to a North African Berber family in Carthage. After Terence was enslaved and taken to Rome, the Roman senator identified his literary talent and educated and freed him. The young writer produced Latin text that was admired for its elegance, clarity, and morality, and was used as a teaching aid in Roman schools. In monasteries and convents in the Middle Ages, priests, nuns, and scribes were said to have learned their Latin by copying out and reenacting Terence's plays. As a dramatist, he was an originator of the comedy of manners, which satirizes family relations or the lack of them and spotlights human foibles. His plays influenced Shakespeare and the French dramatist Molière. After 159 BC, no more is known as of Terence's life. In his mid-20s or 30s, he disappeared following a visit to Greece.